We're working our way through Mistborn Era 2. We're on the second book, Shadows of Self. Read second book. So many mysteries. Obviously, spoilers ahead because this is, a reaction video. Just want to give you a little heads up because I've had a shocking amount of people who watched my reaction videos that weren't aware there were spoilers. So my bad for not, being very open. There are spoilers here because I'm talking about what happened in this book. This is not spoiler free. So first of all, what the frick, Brandon Sanderson? I thought we killed the girlfriend last book. What do you mean to tell me she was a Kandra the whole time? And now he actually killed her? Well, okay, technically she committed suicide, but he feels the guilt that he killed her. Pardon? She was not dead because she was a Kandra and now she is dead? I'm sorry, I'm yelling. I have a lot of feelings about this. I knew the Kandra must have some special connection to Wax because she kept specifically not killing him and Wayne. Specifically to fight someone and capture them and make sure they're not dead or severely injured. They clearly say that this Kandra is clearly skilled. The Lord Ruler's personal Kandra servant. And he probably taught her weird things nobody else knew about. She's terrifying. Poor Wax. Man's going through the fields. He did not appreciate learning from Tensu. Tensu was a backbone boy. Honestly, I thought all the Kandra were dead because, they removed all their metal at the end of Mistborn. The Hero of Ages to save the world. I thought they were dead. Glad to know they were only dead for an hour. And then Sazed was but yeah, he did not appreciate when Tensu was I'm his preservation, you're his ruin. I mean, creation and destruction, man. Gotta have both, and apparently you're ruined. Destruction's not always a bad thing. That was part of the problem between preservation and destruction is things can't stay in stasis, things need to change, but also things shouldn't end prematurely. Wax is going through it, man. Now he's questioning his faith because Sazed, is an imperfect person with godly powers. He holds 2 shards. There is only one other person in the universe who does that. Spoiler for the Stormlight Archive, specifically for Wind of Truth. The only other person in the world, the Cosmere, to have that is Retribution, Odium, and Honor. Tarvanigan. I will never learn how to say his name. Just deal with it, audiobook learner. Just deal with it. Just because you have power does not make you wise. That was kind of the whole point in the Hero of Ages was Sazed was only able to fix the world because his people have been collecting knowledge for ages. Sazed's still imperfect though, because he's just a person. It's not there's a manual guide to how to be a god 101 in the Cosmere. And you feel for Sazed, you knew him the entire first trilogy. He is just doing his best. He's been going through it. Bro's a eunuch. Lord Ruler didn't want his own people to propagate very much because for chemical elements in their blood, which honestly, that is so cool that because the world has changed, you can have allomancy and furchemy combined. That is so freaking cool. I think it's so cool that Wax is both of them. Random side tangent. Bro, couldn't have his own kids. Thought he was less than because he's, doesn't have his manhood. So much so that with Tyndall, whatever the frick her name is. I'm a visual reader, so sorry, audiobook readers. And then she's I love you anyway, after her own trauma of being in the terrorist breeding program. And then she dies. And I saw that in this book, there's a Tyndall promenade he made sure part of the city he decided was named after his love. So Sazed's been through it. You feel so much sympathy and empathy for this man because he's been through it. Unfortunately, I am the hero of ages. Like, what a line, man. So he's just trying his best to like bring harmony to this world. And like he has this whole like mini rant with like Wax, this whole venting session. And he's like, you guys were supposed to invent the radio 100 years ago. What's the radio? You ignore aviation. You can't tame the wilds because you don't bother to study proper irrigation techniques. You've barely gotten beyond what I described to you in the books I gave you. Like, I have coddled you guys too much, apparently, because you're not thriving. But people with less have innovated so much more. And, like, you don't blame Sazed for what happened because, like, Elendil Valley is, like, super fruitful because he came from a world where, like, people were constantly starving and food was not plentiful. So, you know, he didn't want anyone to go hungry again. Like, literally, I think it's mentioned in the first book of the Wax and Wayne series that, like, Lord Mistborn, aka Spook, decreed that you cannot have any decorative trees for nothing. They have to produce fruit. So poor Sazed's just doing his best. I think obviously he's been doing a better job than the Lord Ruler because the Lord Ruler messed things up so badly. Oh, I gotta kill the mist because they're evil. Scooch the earth too close to the sun. Oh no, we're gonna burn up. Ash falls from the sky. Oh no, it's gonna kill everyone. I'm gonna genetically modify every person, plant, and animal on the earth to survive. Ash. Oh no, now food doesn't have as many nutrients in it. Dude didn't have the knowledge he needed to freaking know how to modify the universe. So Sazed obviously is doing just a better job in general because he has more knowledge. But, you know, he's still an imperfect person holding godly powers. It doesn't come with a how-to manual. So, like, you feel so bad for him because you know this character and now he's stuck being God. It's not easy being a shard bearer. It's really not. The Cosmere really shows us that like it's not as cracked up as it seems to be. This was a lot. Again, was kind of like fast of like this happened like just a few days. But you know, this one made sense. Both of them made sense. There's a killer on the loose. I thought it was really fun, like getting more world building and seeing the Khandra again. We went to the pits of Hassan and like all the bunkers. That was really cool. I had been wanting to see the tomb of the Ascended Warrior and the Last Emperor, obviously Vin and Elend, because they mention it like it's a center point of the city. Literally, it's in the center. But like we actually got to visit it this time, and that was super cool and fun. I enjoyed that. That was kind of a gut wrench book because you understand where Sazed's coming from. The rules of holding a shard cannot be broken without severe consequences. Like Ruin wants to destroy. Ruin isn't really good at creating. Preservation really can't destroy, it wants to create. Like I liked that in the first book where Wax is like, isn't the point of being God playing favorites? And he says like, no. I'm harmony, preservation, and ruin. Things need to be harmonic. I sent you to fix the problem because I can't do it myself. I think that's an important thing of the universe of being a god is that you have rules to follow. Yes, you have immense power. Power doesn't matter as much without the rules. The reason you're powerful is because there are rules. Look, here are the rules. You have this power over here, but you can't break this over here. It's rough being a shard bearer because you have to follow these cosmic rules. Like, again, spoilers for the Stormlight Archive, specifically Wind and Truth. Freaking Tarvanigan is learning these dang consequences after becoming Retribution. Zed is so aware of those limitations, and he is being very careful to not act outside of them, which is why he has his agents. He can't do everything himself, even though he has all this power, because he has to act within the rules. Like, he even was saying he was pushing it a little bit. Like, he has to be careful playing favorites. He can only communicate following the rules of, like, the metal through the ear. Preservation can listen, Ruin can talk. I don't know, this was a really interesting book. I liked it. I was shocked, though. Bleeder is dead. And you're like, woo! Like, that was such a cool moment when Wax was like, I'm not his hands, I'm his sword. And in that moment, he accepted being Harmony's Ruin. And then the next moment he's questioning everything because that was Leslie. That was his girlfriend. And now she's dead because she wants to be free from Harmony's influence, so she kills herself. I read this, I finished this like late at night, and I just kind of like laid there in shock of what happened. right in the feels, man. Sanderson. I enjoyed it though. Thanks for coming with me on my journey through the Cosmere. Catch you next time.